What is up, you guys? It is episode 30 of the Sci-Fly Zone. I'm Trenton. This is CJ. Where the multiverse meets the 7th inning stretch, and today's destination is going to be taking us back to Major League Baseball, but we are going to be discussing some fun Major League Baseball facts, some random ones, because it's episode 30. We're going to be doing a little bit fun stuff because we wanted to celebrate us making it this far. Although next episode, we will be covering the most recent episode of Peacemaker that just came out in the DC universe, because we do need to be covering all that stuff. We love that stuff. So if you guys are interested in more of that sci-fi-esque stuff, the MCU, the DCU, etc., then tune in for that. And also, when they release the second part of the cast reveal for Avengers Doomsday, we will also be covering that if you guys are interested in that. But again, like I was saying, for today's episode, we are going to be talking about some Major League Baseball facts, some super random ones that you guys may have never heard, because there is so much lore to Major League Baseball. So much lore. CJ, reel them in.
Yeah, 100%. Baseball is a wild game. It's a crazy game, and if you don't believe that already, then by the end of this video, you will. I promise 100%. You that. There is so much. I mean, baseball has been one of the oldest sports in the history of America, so
it's literally called America's pastime.
Yes, yeah, literally, and the game has evolved so much over the last century, almost like 150 years basically. So there's definitely going to be a lot for us to cover, and there's going to be a lot that we don't cover because it's a crazy sport.
Yeah. So today, since it is episode 30, we're going to be doing 30 facts. We might have some honorable mentions, some extra ones in there just for fun, but we are going to be doing 30 facts for episode 30. So we're going to start off pretty general, I would say, and then work our way towards more and more random, more obscure facts. So prepare for some brand new lore you've never heard before. Ooh. So, first fact. There is a rule in MLB stating that you cannot put pine tar more than 18 inches above the handle of your bat. Now, most of you might be familiar with this rule, but what you may not know as to how it became one and what it ended up leading to. So, in 1975, Minnesota Twins owner Calvin Griffith was upset with MLB's lack of firmness on the pine tar rule. So players were consistently putting pine tar above the 18-inch limit. So every time a baseball made contact with a pine tarred bat, it would need to be replaced with a new one. So constantly replacing baseballs and needing baseballs became very expensive to the eyes of this owner. So he ensured that MLB began taking firmer stances once he adopted the "we're losing money on this" perspective. Because once we start losing money, then they're going to take it seriously. So now that MLB is slowly but surely becoming more strict with the pine tar rule, fast forward 8 years to 1983. It's Yankees versus Royals in New York. The Yankees got Goose Gossage up on the mound with a 4-3 lead in the 9th inning. Future Hall of Famer for Kansas City, George Brett, he comes to the plate for Kansas City. And you guys know the rest. The opposing manager appeals his go-ahead home run, stating that the pine tar makes his bat illegal as it was above the limit. So therefore, he should be out for breaking the rule. And the umpires talked and agreed, and that's exactly what happened. And George Brett's reaction, obviously, super iconic. And it's crazy how years ago, before that moment, an owner simply just wanting to save money on baseballs by enforcing this rule more created this moment. Kind of like a butterfly effect in a way.
Totally. Yeah. I feel like there's so many butterfly effects in baseball that you can look back on and attribute one thing to another. And yeah, I mean, this is an iconic moment in baseball history for sure. Props to the umpires, honestly, for staying true to the rule. Technically, it was illegal, so it was, good for them to hold that up. And George Brett, obviously one of the best third basemen of all time, probably the best Kansas City Royal of all time. But I mean, when you think of George Brett, it's hard not to think about that moment.
Yeah, dude.
And his reaction in particular was great to see.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so for my first fact, we're gonna go with another pretty well-known guy. Guy by the name of Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
One of the most well-known pitchers in baseball history, I'd say. He holds several records. He's got the most strikeouts of all time. He also has the most walks of all time as a pitcher. And he was one of the most dominant pitchers of his era. He had multiple seasons where he threw 300 innings. He led the league in strikeouts most of the seasons. He was healthy, basically. But despite how successful his 27-year career was, he never won a Cy Young award, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, obviously he's still a historic pitcher, one of the best of all time. He's in the Hall of Fame, well, rightfully so. But not having that Cy Young award just feels weird. Like, seeing that next to his name, you know, it feels like he should have at least 3.
Yeah. What's crazy is my next fact actually jumps right off of your fact.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So I have here a fun number juxtaposition. So Nolan Ryan, over his career, threw 7 no-hitters and won 0 Cy Young awards. Another Hall of Fame pitcher, Roger Clemens, over his career, threw 0 no-hitters and won 7 Cy Young awards.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even mention the 7 no-hitters from Nolan Ryan, but that's something that's probably never going to be broken. You know, that's a topic for another video. Maybe we could do a video talking about records that are never going to be broken someday. That would be pretty cool. But
remember when the Reds pitcher Homer Bailey was kind of like throwing no-hitters here and there for a little bit? That was so random. Yeah,
man. So weird. Not a guy that you think about as like a dominant pitcher at all. Homer Bailey. Good for him, man. Yeah. Okay. We'll go a little bit more modern. I talked about a guy named Nolan Ryan. You probably heard of him. Have you heard of a guy named Barry Bonds? No? Okay. He was a pretty solid player.
I've heard of his dad, Bobby Bonds.
Yep, great player. Better than Barry. Yep. Barry Bonds, arguably, jokes aside, is maybe the best hitter of all time. I mean, there's other guys up there. We talk about Hank Aaron being one of the best. Willie Mays is probably in the conversation, but Barry Bonds is definitely the most feared hitter of all time, I would say, you know? Yeah. And he was especially feared during the span of 2001 to 2004.
Oh, yeah.
During this 4-year span, Barry Bonds accumulated more FWAR, which is just wins above replacement, according to Fangraphs, which is another stat site. Barry Bonds accumulated more FWAR than 5 different MLB franchises during that span. He had more FWAR than the Mets, than the Brewers, than the Royals, than the Tigers, and he had 14.9 FWAR more than the Expos.
So in that guys, to put simply, Barry Bonds as an individual from 2001 to 2004 provided more value than 5 different franchises did during that span, with all of their players combined, batting and pitching and bench.
Yeah. Him alone.
Crap.
I mean, we're never going to see a player like Barry Bonds again, you know, and there's good reason for that. Obviously, but you know, that stretch that he went through was truly like the stuff of legends.
Yeah, he was basically the sign of the end times for the steroid era.
Yeah, exactly. He was Thanos of
He was literally Thanos. Yeah. So next, guy you also might have heard of, Joey Votto. Very good first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds. Recently retired. Very happy for him. Great guy. So, after Joey Votto made his major league debut, it took him 12 seasons, averaging 141 games played during that span of those 12 seasons, to pop out to first base for the first time in his career. His first full season was in 2008, and his very first time popping up to first base was in 2019.
That is unbelievable. That is an insane stat. Like, seriously, I feel like Joey Votto is regarded as one of the best pure hitters of his era, and that stat just like absolutely proves it. You know, there were almost no weak spots in his. That's
like 500 to 600, maybe even 700 plate appearances per season during that span for 12 years. Not a single time.
Wow.
Yeah.
He needs to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He will be.
I literally have that written down. I said, dude will definitely be a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. We've been talking about a lot of guys that a lot of people know. Let's go a little bit more obscure. But I know you know this guy. Let's go Red Sox utility Brock Holt.
Oh,
You know Brock Holt.
Yeah.
Brock Holt actually hit for the cycle twice throughout his MLB career. You guys probably know what a cycle is. It's you hit a single, double, triple, and a homer in the game. Every hit that you can get, you get that hit in one game. Brock Holt did that twice in his career. Very rare. The first time he did it was in 2015, where he finished the season with 2 home runs, which means that in 50% of the games that he hit a homer, it resulted in him hitting for the cycle.
Oh my gosh.
He only did it twice.
That's crazy, dude.
And the second time he hit for the cycle was in 2018 in the American League Division Series, where he became the only player and is still the only player to ever hit for the cycle in the playoffs.
Dude, that is so cool. That is so cool.
And Brock Holt, he has such a weird career. You know, he didn't really get any awards. He was a one-time All-Star. He was like 8th in Rookie of the Year. He never actually played a full season after that 2018 season.
Yeah.
But he will always be in the history books because of that. And I think that's pretty cool.
Dude, I would use that at like every bar.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Like,
100%.
dude, I'm the only guy to ever hit for the cycle in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's it. It's only me. I'm that guy.
He is that guy. There's MLB.com had a list of every player to hit for the cycle in the playoffs. It was one guy, and it was Brock Holt.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Another crazy stat here. Johnny Mize in 1947 did something no player has ever done before and has not done since and will probably never do. He's the only player with a 50 homer season to strike out less than the amount of home runs that he hit that year. For reference, here's 2024's best home run hitters and their strikeouts. We have Aaron Judge. He hit 58 home runs, 171 strikeouts. Ohtani, 54 home runs, 162 strikeouts. Anthony Santander, 44 home runs, 129 strikeouts. Arguably the best guy with the home run to strikeout ratio in this whole list is Jose Ramirez, and he has 39 home runs with only 82 strikeouts.
Wow.
And here's the craziest thing. You know, you'd think, wow, Johnny Mize, nice season you got there. That's an MVP worthy season, right? Wrong.
Oh, okay.
He placed second in MVP.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. What's crazy is I just lied to you. He placed third.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
They thought 2 guys had a better season than that?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy in first place, Bob Elliott, who won MVP that year, he hit 29 less home runs, had 25 less RBIs, had a smaller OPS, he had a slightly higher batting average, but their WAR was a whole WAR different.
Jeez, that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad snub, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. People look at stats a lot differently than they did back then now, or there are a lot of different stats that people value now.
Yeah.
And some people are not happy about it, but honestly, I think if we looked at stats the way we do back then, he's probably a unanimous MVP, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Like that is really bad. That's a bad snub, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did he ever win an MVP in his career?
I do not know.
Okay.
I feel like he probably didn't want to win one after that season.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. I mean, if that's not enough for an MVP, then I'm not sure if he could have a season that is enough for an MVP.
No, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Hall of Famer for the A's and Red Sox, Lefty Grove, was once traded for a fence. That's a real sentence, and it's true. It's a true. I did not make that up. I promise. Lefty Grove, when he was 20 years old, was offered a contract to play for a team in Martinsburg, West Virginia, who did not have an outfield fence at the time, but they had enough to pay him to play for them. He would strike out 60 batters over 59 innings for them, earning the interest of the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles gave this unnamed team from West Virginia between $3,000 and $3,500
And back then money for Lefty Grove, which they would use to buy a fence. Lefty Grove would go on to play for the A's and the Red Sox and become a Hall of Famer and be one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time. So it's a win-win, kind of. Yeah.
They got a fence, but they had to give up Lefty Grove for it.
That's so crazy.
I want trades like that to happen nowadays. They should trade Rafael Devers for a pitching machine.
They should trade Anthony Rendon for a pair of sandals.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah. Yup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. But since my last fact was kind of an MVP snub, I'm gonna throw y'all another bone with another MVP snub. So in 1947, Ted Williams was snubbed by Joe DiMaggio. And I'll put the stats here for you guys. Keep in mind, Joe DiMaggio was 6 seasons removed from his famous 56-game hit streak season, by the way. So in that aspect, you know, like the hype wasn't there for that specific event anymore. So in 1947, Ted Williams had about 30 more runs, 12 more home runs, about 20 more RBIs, 100 more walks, 30 higher batting average, and about a 200 higher OPS, and he came second to Joe DiMaggio.
Wow.
And here's the cherry on top. Joe DiMaggio's WAR was 4.7. I just want you to guess what Ted Williams's was.
6.
9.5.
Oh my God.
And he came second.
Joe DiMaggio was 4.7.
Yeah.
So according to WAR, Ted Williams was almost twice as valuable as Joe DiMaggio.
He actually was more than twice.
He was what, 9.0?
Ted Williams was 9.5.
9.5. Wow.
Yeah. So he was more than twice as valuable as Joe DiMaggio was, and he came second, which is kind of ironic.
Wow. Jeez. That is a bad snub.
Yeah.
That is really bad. I think Ted Williams was not very well liked by the voters and the writers. So,
Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I know Joe DiMaggio was like popular with the writers, but that's a little blatant not to give that to Ted Williams. Like that's if that happened today, there would be riots. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Ted Williams, I'll stick on the topic. Ted Williams, in my mind, is a top 3 hitter of all time. I would say that. Yeah. Thank you for the interpretation, by the way. However, Ted Williams missed 3 seasons early in his career because he was he was at war. He was serving in World War II in the Marine Corps for 3 years. So when he came back after missing 3 years of baseball, he had his most valuable season of his career. He was the most valuable player in all of baseball because he put up a 10.6 WAR. Kind of ironic that right when he came back from the war, he has the highest WAR.
That's good.
In the league.
That's good.
He led all of MLB in WAR and runs and walks, on base percentage, slugging, on base plus slugging, intentional walks, and he led the American League in total bases and easily won the MVP.
Thank God.
They couldn't snub him that time. They can't snub him every time. He has to win it sometimes, you know.
They said, tell him to bring the whole ocean. I'll get all the stats. I'm going to lead the whole league and everything.
Yeah, man. Seriously. I think the one stat that kind of stands out to me the most out of those is honestly the intentional walks, because he was gone for 3 years. And early in his career, he was getting intentionally walked a lot because he's one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah.
But pitchers, knowing that he was gone for 3 years and hadn't seen a pitch, they were still just as scared of him as they were when he was earlier in his career and when he was in his prime for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
He really did not miss a beat.
No, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's
one of the best of all time.
Yeah, 100%. And also, It's really cool in Fenway how they have like that home run marked by the red seat hit
Yeah,
by
the red
him.
seat. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it in person. It's pretty cool.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really
Have you
far away.
yeah, did you like stand there and look at home?
Yeah, it was
That's
insane, bro. But yeah, Ted Williams is a pretty well-known individual. I'm going to speak upon an individual who is not well-known.
okay.
So an individual, he's a pitcher named Carlos Silva. He has a career 1.7 walks per nine and a 4.68 career ERA. So in 2005, he threw 188 in a third innings pitched, and he only gave up 9 walks.
Wow.
Averaging out to just 0.4 walks per nine that season, the lowest ever by a qualified starter of all time.
That is an insane stat.
Yeah. Carlos Silva.
How do you do that? He was just throwing 90 pitches in a game and 80 of them were strikes.
And also just by pitching to a lot of contact too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Wow. Jeez.
It's so crazy.
That's something we're probably not going to be saying anytime soon or ever again.
Definitely not.
Wow. Let's get a little more modern. I'll take us to 2017. Great time for baseball.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff happening. A guy named Joey Gallo is doing pretty well. Well, arguably. Very weird career path. He's currently in development to become a pitcher. So that tells you how his career as a hitter went.
Yeah.
But he did have a couple good seasons. Power seasons. He had a lot of home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Including in 2017, where he hit more home runs than singles. He had 41 home runs that year, and he had 9 less singles with 32.
That's crazy.
He was only swinging for the fences.
Literally. Oh, man.
Joey Gallo is one of the most, like, 3 true outcome players we have seen in a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
He's either going to strike out or he's going to hit a home run, pretty much. Literally. And that season was kind of the peak of Joey Gallo being Joey Gallo.
Yeah. He was fun to watch, though. Very
he
fun
really
to
was.
Watch. His swing, dude, especially some of the home runs that he hit in Texas, like they went really far.
He had a really nice swing. He could hit the ball real hard when he could make good contact with it. That's
yes, not often. Very low batting average for his career.
Yeah. He hit a 206 that year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but during those periods, it was very fun to watch him just hit bombs for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So since you're talking about the hitting side, I'm going to talk about pitching aspect.
Okay.
So a pitcher named Johnny Vander. That's fun.
Fun name.
Sounds like a guy. He sounds like a relief pitcher for the Braves.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Anyway, he's the only pitcher to throw back-to-back no-hitters.
Wow.
In 1938, he threw one against Boston on June 11th, and then later against the Brooklyn Dodgers on June 15th.
Wow. 18 straight no-hit innings is extremely impressive. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again.
I don't know. At least not by a starting pitcher.
Yeah. It could be maybe in relief, like in individual games, right?
Yeah.
But as a starting pitcher, 18 straight no-hit innings is incredibly impressive. Wow.
Crazy town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll stick with the pitching side, but it's a kind of a wonky pitching stat. I
love wonky.
So, Phillies utility player Cody Clemens, not very well-known guy, probably more well-known for his dad being Roger Clemens.
Oh, we talked about him earlier.
We did talk about him earlier, yes.
The guy from the episode.
Cody Clemens was a position player, but he came into a game for the Phillies to pitch as a position player.
Okay.
He faced Shohei Ohtani, and he struck him out.
Oh.
He struck out Shohei Ohtani.
That's pretty cool.
Which made it so that Cody and Roger Clemens are technically the father-son duo with the most strikeouts of any father-son duo of all time. Because he's got one. And Roger Clemens says 4,000. Cody Clemens, man.
That's crazy.
He's got a ball in the Hall of Fame. And you cannot take that away from him.
Nope.
And he struck out Ohtani too.
Yeah. To get that record on Ohtani.
Hey, no quotes,
nice.
no quotation. That's a record, my guy.
Yes. So the last stat that you were talking about resulted in a strikeout. I'm going to talk about an at-bat that resulted in something a little different. So, Brandon Belt, he has the longest plate appearance in MLB history.
Wow.
Yeah, 21 pitches versus Jaime Barria.
21 pitches?
Yep. It took him 21 pitches just to fly out to right field.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And he didn't even get anything out of it. To fly out of it.
I mean, he got the pitch count up.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you work a pitcher. That is.
Yeah.
That's wow. If you end an inning in 21 pitches, that's considered a good inning. He didn't get through a batter in 21 pitches. That's unbelievable, dude. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take us to one of the best hitters of our generation, of his generation. He's retired now, but Miguel Cabrera is easily one of the best hitters of his generation.
Yeah.
And he had some of the best seasons of his generation, including a Triple Crown in 2012. He won Triple Crown and MVP that year. But his next season was better than his Triple Crown season. In 2013, he had the same number of home runs with 44. He had 2 less RBI with 137 to 139. But his batting average was 348 compared to 330, 18 points higher. His on base was 39 points higher. His slugging was 30 points higher. And his OPS plus was 26 points higher.
Wow.
Than his Triple Crown year.
So basically, just he had less guys on base to work with that year, but he was doing better himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
Obviously, he won MVP both of those years. Trout was pretty close in 2013, but I mean, Miguel Cabrera, like that's back-to-back seasons that you don't really see from a lot of guys. He was one of the most consistent hitters in his prime.
Yeah, after he struck out looking to Sergio Romo, he's like, nah, I can't.
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, he's like, nah, that's the last time.
Yeah. Not me, bro.
Yep.
Wow. That is really crazy.
Yeah.
So, I have just a really crazy stat here. So, pitch counts today are higher than ever. Because, a lot of guys are going for strikeouts, not really pitch on the contact anymore, especially with the velocity, not a lot of control. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, in contrast, we're going to go to 1944. Guy named Red Barrett. That's a 1944 name right
that's
there.
That's a name right there.
He threw a complete game on just 58 pitches, 9 innings, averaging just under 6.5 pitches an inning.
What?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's insane, dude.
You can fact check me. That's real.
Wow. Dude.
Call the Red Baron.
Bro, people created the phrase throwing a Maddox if you could throw a complete game in under 100 pitches. He did it in almost half of that.
Yeah, no. He walked so Maddox could run.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Dude. Wow. That I've never heard that stat before, and I don't know why, because people should be talking about that more.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I think it's because it was from a pitcher who seemingly is not that just popular, like name wise.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of other names going around in the 40s compared to Red Barrett.
Yeah. And, although
I'm also not really familiar with the rest of his career, so this could have just been an anomaly.
Yeah, totally.
But either way, it's a phenomenal achievement and probably one that'll never happen again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Speaking of something that will never happen again, at least hopefully, Steve Carlton was one of the best pitchers of his generation.
Yeah.
And he was one of the best pitchers in Phillies history. But he did not always get the support from the Phillies that he gave them. Because in 1972, he went 27-10, and the Phillies won 59 games that year. Steve Carlton won the Phillies 46% of their games. That is bad. That's really bad.
At least they were good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I'm sure after all the other pitchers are like, is this my fault? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, every fifth day was a good day most of the time. And that's about it. You get one good day a week. And then the rest is no. No, sir. Yeah. I'm surprised that he was a Philly for as long as he was.
Yeah. Also, having a decision in 37 starts is crazy. Yeah. Like none of those being a no decision is crazy.
Right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude. He was putting in a lot of work for them.
Yeah, back then pitchers just went down with the shit, man.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah, 100%. They're like, hey, I'm not going to be a pitcher forever. I'm not going to need to use my arm in 30 years. Just blow it out now. Just take it. It's all yours.
So,
unbelievable.
I have a huge statistical anomaly here.
Okay.
So, very recently, also, by the way, on August 23rd, 2024, at an Oakland A's game, at one of the last games probably at the Oakland A's stadium ever, sadly, very sad. They should have stayed in Oakland. I'm forever going to stand by that, but that's not what we're talking about. So, in one inning, an Oakland A's fan managed to catch 3 foul balls in one inning. The odds of this happening are 1 in 185 million.
Whoa.
Around that.
Oh my God. Gee, dude. Wow. That is literally a statistical anomaly. That's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. I hope he gave at least one of them away. Maybe I hope he didn't keep all 3 of them, Although, hey, Coliseum's closing down, teams moving out. That's a good way to leave it. Maybe, hopefully that was his last game that he went to, and he can leave thinking like that,
Yeah, he would have had to hold out for a whole nother month at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a long month for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, just crazy.
Yeah, dude. Wow. I have a fun stat too. Fun numbers.
Yeah.
Stan Musial is also considered one of the best hitters of all time. I'd say alongside Ted Williams. They're kind of in the same conversation.
Yeah.
One of the best Cardinals of all time. He finished his career with 3,630 hits. 1,815 of them were at home. 1,815 of them were on the road.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He had the same number of hits at home games and on the road in his entire career.
That's consistent.
And that is consistent. Yeah. And to finish with 3,600 hits too, like that is hard to do. You can't really talk about home and away splits with Stan Musial because he is the same guy at home and away. He is who he is, man.
Yeah, dude. And what's crazy is I also had that fact written down.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, that's the first one. That's the first one so far.
It's pretty good. So, that is crazy. And I'm glad he's in the Hall of Fame because he deserves it.
Absolutely.
So, on July 21st, 1975, you guys know Joe Torre.
Yeah.
Manager, pretty good guy.
Totally.
He was also a player. Remember that?
Yeah, I watched him all the time growing up.
Yeah, in 1975, me too. He was great. So he made history by becoming the first, and I'm 99% sure, the only player. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I could only find that he was the only person to do this. So let me know if I'm wrong. But he is the only person to ground into a double play in all 4 of his plate appearances in one game. And famously, the teammate ahead of him, Felix Milan, went 4 for 4 with 4 singles that game.
No. Oh my God. Dude. Oh my God. That's. They better not have gone with the same lineup the next day. They need to move something around. This is not working. How do you record 8 outs in 4 at bats? Dude. He recorded almost a third of the team's at bats alone on 4 swings. That's unbelievable. I feel bad for whoever was hitting behind him because he's going up there with nobody on base every time.
Just complete vibe killer every time.
Oh, cool. We got a rally going. Who's up next? Oh my God, it's Joe.
Yeah, Joe Mama.
Joe Mama would have done as well as Joe Torre would have done.
Literally, oh my gosh.
Jeez. Okay, let's see. I want to go back to one of the most prolific power hitters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Sammy Sosa, because his prime was one of the best that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
He has 3 of the top 6 single seasons in home runs. He's had 63 homers, 64 homers, and 66 homers over the span of about 4 years.
Yeah.
In none of those years did he lead the league in home runs.
Nope.
Not a single one. There was one guy that beat him every year. It was McGuire twice.
So crazy.
Barry Bonds with 73 in 2001. He did everything he could. It was his best season.
Every time he peaked, someone else is just like, I'm a peak higher.
Literally,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, the 1998 was the historic race to 70 between him and McGuire. McGuire obviously ended up winning that. And the next year, they pretty much had another race. It was Sammy Sosa 2 and McGuire number 1.
Yeah.
And then 2001 was obviously Barry Bonds.
That's so
yeah, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Barry Bonds, for next fact here, remember when he played in the World Series against
these guys?
These guys?
Yes, I do.
And they lost.
And
they lost. Anyway, what made that World Series matchup very interesting was that was the very first time 2 wild card teams matched up in the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
The Angels and the Giants were both wild card teams in 2002, and that's when they both played in the World Series.
Wow.
And our boys won.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man.
We take pride in that because that's all we got.
It's the most recent World Series we got because it's the only one.
Yep.
Wow. That is.
But yeah, pretty cool.
That is really cool. That's a World Series I want to see like nowadays. I'd like to see wild card teams in the World Series. I mean, if we got wild card teams in the World Series today, it'd probably be like Mariners, Mets, or Mariners, Cubs, something like that. That sounds like a fun series.
Oh, yeah.
And 2002 was a very fun series.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that home run in Game 6 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Bonds. Oh my
that
gosh.
That Tim Salmon reaction in the dugout.
Yeah, furthest ball I've ever seen hit.
Yeah. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough though because they lost. Nope. Anyways. I want you to who's just off the top of your head, who's like one of your favorite players of all time?
One of my favorite players of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably I don't know, low-key Jared Weaver.
Ooh, I like that. Okay,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jared Weaver. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was actually watching that game live on TV when I was a kid against the Twins. Cool. I remember, dude, when that fly ball to deep right center field was almost a home run, bro. I was losing my mind.
It was very
when he caught it, bro. I was so happy.
That was great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players of all time is Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah,
because he did something in a spring training game that will never happen again.
No.
And I can confidently say that because I don't think it's allowed anymore.
Yeah.
But they made an exception, and it was for a good reason, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell played for 10 different teams in one day in spring training.
I remember that, bro.
He started the day off at shortstop for the A's. He moved to second for the Mariners. He played center field for the Angels. I don't know who Mike Trout is. Will Ferrell's my center fielder.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about this, he didn't have all the gear for all of these teams because he was going back and forth between dugouts. So he actually used Trout's hat and his glove during the game. Trout just took his hat and his glove off and gave it to him. Played center for the Angels. He got traded to the Cubs for a washing machine. Shout out to Lefty Grove. He coached third base for them. And then he had an at-bat, and he struck out. Then he got traded to the Diamondbacks for a churro dog and a D-back dog, which he then ate in the dugout and then played left field for them.
So he had his cake and ate it too, basically.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he had his dog and ate it too. Yeah. Then he was placed on waivers, which I think is
okay. So who picked him up?
The Reds picked him up. He got picked up by the Reds. Obviously, he played third base for them.
Yeah.
And then he was traded to the White Sox, where he landed in center field in a helicopter and had an at-bat, and he struck out again.
Yeah.
Yep. Then he was traded to the Giants,
yeah,
where he replaced Buster Posey behind the plate at catcher.
Yeah.
And then he was traded to the Dodgers, where he pitched.
I remember that. He
got an out.
He got an out. Yeah.
He got an out.
It was a freebie, most likely.
Yeah.
It seemed like a freebie, but it was still cool for him to record an out.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And then he finished it off by playing right field for the Padres for one inning, and in doing so, he raised $1 million towards cancer research and made baseball history. And
the big dub.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has his own page on Baseball Reference, so go check that out if you guys want to.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, shout out to Will Ferrell, baseball legend.
Yeah, man. I don't think anyone else besides Will Ferrell would even be qualified to do something like that. But you know, it definitely was probably a challenge to like do all that in one day.
Totally. Yeah.
And speaking of challenges, are you familiar with the 999 challenge?
Yes, I am. I thankfully have never attempted it, but I definitely know about it.
So for those who don't know, that is 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and 9 innings. Sounds crazy, right? And also expensive in this economy. But if you guys know a guy named Babe Ruth, he would go viral today if he were around, because there are verified reports of him not only downing 12 hot dogs in between a doubleheader, but even as many as 18 on a train ride between games. And on that train ride, from eating so many hot dogs and just probably his diet in general, he passed out and needed surgery to repair the damage that was done from his diet.
Oh my God. And he's one of the best hitters of all time.
Bro was the American dream, basically.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he was living what everybody wants. Like, kids be like, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a Major League Baseball player, and I want to eat 20 hot dogs in a day and do both and be the best. And he did it. It's crazy. Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, he definitely went out swinging.
Nice. Speaking of going out swinging, this is a guy who did not get out swinging on this particular day. At least on this particular day.
Yes.
Eddie Rosario once hit for the cycle.
Interesting.
He hit for the cycle on 5 pitches. That he saw 5 pitches in a day, and he went 4 for 4 with a double in his first at bat and an 0-1 count. And then he got hits on the next 3 at bats on the first pitch of each at bat.
It sounds like an MLB The Show moment.
Yeah, literally, yeah. He was playing like my career mode. He had the sliders up for sure. He was on point this day. It was one of the best, probably the best game of his life. And I don't think that's ever going to happen again. You know, we talked about Brock Holt with 2 hitting for the cycle twice.
Yeah.
Neither of those times did he do it on 5 pitches, you know?
No, that's probably the most efficient cycle of all time.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Yeah, he was not wasting his time.
No. Speaking of not wasting your time, also, we're just gonna keep doing that.
Yeah.
A guy who did not waste his time getting to the major leagues, Juan Soto. He's the youngest player to ever homer in a World Series game at just 20 years old versus the Astros in 2019 when he was with the Nationals.
That was a great team.
That was just a crazy moment in general.
Yeah, 100%.
20-year-old Juan Soto doing the shuffle.
Yeah, bro.
Off of some of the league's best at the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, at 20 years old too, doing off of guys like 10, 15 years older than you. And he just, as soon as he got up to the major leagues, he looked like he was super comfortable and felt like he belonged, you know?
Yeah.
And he's been proving it for a long time. And that homer in that game was definitely an indicator for how the rest of his career shapes up.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And he's still having a great career, and he probably will for a long time.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Completely agree. Here's a guy who had a solid career. Longtime Red Sox, likable guy, Kevin Youkilis, one of the most iconic batting stances in baseball. There's sort of especially in younger years in baseball, there's this philosophy that coaches tell their players that if you get in a 3-0 count, do not swing the bat. You have the red light. If he throws three balls in a row, the odds of him throwing 3 more strikes before he throws 1 more ball is probably not going to happen. So just take a pitch, see what happens. Kevin Youkilis took this to heart because not a single time in his 10-year career did he swing at a 3-0 pitch. Every single time he took it. And a lot of times it worked out. He got walked a lot. He was known as walking a lot. And that's a big reason for it because he refused to swing the bat on 3-0 pitches. Call it discipline if you want. Call it stubbornness. Whatever it is, it worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you have, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to give my last stat here. And I saved y'all a good one. On July 3rd, 1966, Atlanta Braves pitcher Tony Cloninger. Yeah.
Baseball names.
Tony Cloninger hit 2 grand slams in a single game against the San Francisco Giants, becoming the first and only pitcher to achieve this feat in Major League Baseball history. Cloninger also set a record for a pitcher with 9 RBIs in the game, which included pitching a complete game in the Braves' 17-3 victory.
That's insane. Oh my God. It didn't click for me at first that you said he was a pitcher. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable, dude. He literally, he did it all for his team that day. Jeez. Cloninger, huh? Wow. I'd like to see a pitcher do that.
Yeah, man.
Shohei Ohtani, I guess, is the only one that can because nobody else can hit anymore. But
and he pitched a complete game.
Oh my God.
2 grand slams in a complete game. Like, that is the most MLB The Show thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Literally.
2 grand slams in a complete game.
Yeah.
Never will happen again.
Absolutely not. Wow. If anybody watching this was playing MLB 2K13 on the Xbox 360, that's kind of how it felt playing in my career with all the stats on, with sliders up, just the best player on the field at all times. That's insane. Wow. That is insane.
This is why I'm like half and half on the National League adapting the designated hitter.
Yeah, universal DH.
Yeah, it takes away moments like this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's some
like
very iconic moments of pitchers hitting.
Yeah. Without that aspect, we would have never seen Felix Hernandez, hit a grand slam against the Mets.
Yeah. We wouldn't have seen Bumgarner hitting homers. We wouldn't have seen that Zach Greinke, that Archie Bradley triple in the playoffs in Arizona, dude.
Yeah, man.
We wouldn't have seen Brandon Woodruff hitting a homer in the playoffs off of Clayton Kershaw.
Nope. It even got us the opportunity to see Mariano Rivera take a hack against the Braves.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He
Wow.
made good contact too, which is actually crazy.
Sometimes I forget that like pitchers are good at baseball. Does that make sense?
Like hitting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wow. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so that's my final stat. CJ, finish us off. Pause.
Okay. I got a good one to wrap us up. Derek Jeter is one of the most iconic shortstops of all time. He debuted as a Yankee at 21 years old, and he retired as a Yankee at 40 years old, having never played for another team in his career. One of the best Yankees of all time. According to WAR, he has the 5th highest WAR in Yankees history. He played one game at Yankee Stadium where the Yankees were not in playoff contention. This game was the last game that he played at Yankee Stadium when he was 40 years old. The only time it ever happened. And if you know Derek Jeter, you know how this game ends.
So iconic.
Because one of the most iconic moments in recent history. Derek Jeter comes up to bat on the first pitch from Evan Meek. Hits a low line drive to right field. Antoine Richardson rounds third. The throw is short. Derek Jeter wins the game at Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
They always say you can't script baseball, but if you could script baseball, this is what you would write.
Yeah.
Because this was one of the most iconic moments in baseball history. And it was done by one of the most iconic players, one of the most beloved players of all time. So that was just an incredible moment. And getting to see that was really cool.
Yeah, dude. It literally, you could not have written it better, especially like Derek Jeter was specifically known for those opposite field hits.
Exactly. That's what he always does. Yep.
So seeing him do that precisely like for his final game at Yankee Stadium. And also like, I know like your stat or like your fact was more so like that he ended his career on like a really cool note, but you also mentioned the fact that every game he played at home in Yankee Stadium, he was playing in contention for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like he'd never been out of contention.
Right. Yeah. He was part of that Yankees core that was just great every single year. Yeah. Literally. They won the division or they were in the wild card or contending for it, you know? And a lot of that has to do with Derek Jeter. Mm-hmm. And he's, I mean, one of the most beloved Yankees of all time. And even if his career didn't end great, I mean, his last season wasn't a fantastic season. I think he hit around 250, 260, but
it was old man Jeter.
He was 40. He was 40 at the time. But I mean, to end it the way that he did was like really just iconic. They even said, the announcer said, as Jeter walked up to the plate, "Oh, the script is there." And he basically called it.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, just a great career for him. And obviously 100% deserving to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he definitely punched his ticket with that ending there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after the game, they gave him his whole, he got to like do a roll call. Everybody like stood and like gave him a round of applause. He took some time to like walk around, look around the stadium. It was really nice, really great way. I don't like the Yankees, but I like Derek Jeter and I like this moment.
Me too. Yeah, definitely a good one to end on. Good job.
Yeah, man. Yeah. A good way to end a good video.
Yes, sir. So if you guys stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you liked this kind of diving into the lore of Major League Baseball, if you want us to do some more random facts or stuff like that, just let us know. We'll be glad to do it, or just anything related to this. You know, if you want more random facts about different stuff, maybe like random facts about a Marvel thing or DC, whatever, you know, so many options. So if you guys want anything like that, just leave it down in the comments. And we really appreciate you guys watching the videos. You know, hit that like button, leave a comment, hit that sub button. Really appreciate it. And like I said, we will be diving into Peacemaker as well, going over that and just the ramifications of how it deals with the different DC universe that it was part of before and how it's going to tie into this new DC universe that it's part of now and just its future in the DC universe as well.
Superman saga, baby.
Exactly. Yes, sir. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Sci-Fi Zone. Trenton, CJ, have a good one.